Old Harry Rocks are an ancient and tiny archipelago of chalk rocks located on the Dorset coast, off the Isle of Purbeck, just off the village of Studland. The village of Studland itself is a tiny settlement which has been around for at least the last 900 years. It's even assumed that Studland predates Christianity in Anglo-Saxon England. It's a quaint little village, complete with your English pub, inns, churches and graveyards, and of course backs onto the sandy dunes of the Purbeck coast. The peninsula, which is a designated nature reserve itself, hosts a wide variety of various habitats, from heath and bogland to woodland, sand dune, scrub, sea and fresh water. As you can imagine, the fauna which live in these habitats are vast in numbers. Large populations of wildfowl live in the area, and it's a great spot to watch for grebes, divers and warblers. Interestingly, the reserve is one of the only few places in the whole UK home to all 6 native reptile species. Studland Beach has hosted the likes of Coldplay for their music video Yellow, as well as sets for Monty Python and Only Fools and Horses. To get to Old Harry Rocks, you can walk to it from the village, taking the country paths directly to it. The walk is about a 20 to 40 minute walk, depending on your speed and how many of the side sites you want to stop off at, which in all fairness are defo worth it. The rocks themselves are a listed UNESCO World Heritage Site, and much of the surrounding land is actually looked after by National Trust. Even though you can see the rocks from the surrounding areas and cities, it's definitely worthwhile making the trip on foot to stand up close to them. Funnily enough, the rocks used to make up a now eroded path to the Isle of Wight, pretty much of course all of which is claimed by the sea by now. Like most of the south coast, the chalk coastline erosion starts by the harsh sea and wind hydraulics, forming culverts and eventually arches. Eventually the arches collapse into the sea, leaving small freestanding stacks of land. If you're wondering who Old Harry is, it's actually an Old English reference to the devil. It is said that the devil, or Old Harry, slept or maybe still sleeps on the rocks. Another reference in local folklore points to an infamous pirate who came from the city of Poole close by, his name also being Harry. It's said he used to hide behind the rocks while waiting for local merchant ships to pass by to pillage them for loot. Another legend, which comes from the 9th century, is said that a Viking sea raid upon the land was obliterated by a storm, and one of the Viking leaders was lost to the sea and turned into a pillar of chalk. If you want to visit Old Harry Rocks, head to the village of Studland on the Isle of Purbeck in Dorset. Note that the Isle of Purbeck is not actually cut off from the mainland, so you can get to it by car, bike, bus, and even steam train. There are tons of places to visit in the immediate surrounding too, such as Corfe Castle, Knoll Beach, Fort Henry, the Dragon's Teeth, and of course the village of Studland itself. You also have the surrounding towns and cities of Swanage, again Corfe Castle, that's the name of the town and the castle in the town, Poole, Bournemouth, and even the Isle of Wight if you want to jump on a boat. Old Harry Rocks are located in a public and open-air location, meaning you can head to them whenever you'd like, free of any charges, except for parking of course. Be super careful however when getting close to the edges. The land literally is a 180-degree, 80-meter sheer drop down to the rocks and water, but the views and photo ops are honestly incredible.